It's early. Got up about 3:30, so it's not looking too bad over there. There's a bit of light starting to appear in the sky, so we're going to head up and see if we can catch a sunrise before maybe coming back to sleep. It's a lovely place. I think it's going to be a good sunrise. Got a good feeling about this. It's looking really looking quite good. So. Going for a wee trek up to the same point we were at last night for sunset. I think there's going to be a cracking sunrise just over past these boulders. So fingers crossed we get something. But I have a funny feeling this is going to be good. So we headed back up to the same location we'd been at the night before, and we had the small loch-in as some nice foreground interest, and the Torridonian mountains were looking grand, silhouetted in the background. We spent the next wee while setting up the cameras, getting the tripods out, and really just waiting for the light to appear in the sky. It was lovely. This is looking fantastic. It's just gone pink over Letic of Torridon, and we've still got about another, I think we've got a good hour of something happening in the sky, so I'm going to shut up, turn this on to some photograph modes and take some pictures. So after taking some pictures, we moved away from the tripods and just really took it all in, watched the colours change and waited for the sun to rise over the northwest highlands. It was a glorious morning, and it wasn't even 4:30 yet. That was the time the sun was set to rise, and we were just really enjoying it. It was going to be a great day. This is just fabulous. I think the best of the light's actually gone now. You can see behind me the Torridonian hills there, where the cloud above them just went an absolute vivid pink, absolutely fantastic. It's starting to fade now, so the sun's just going to come up over there somewhere, so we're going to film the sunrise. And there's still loads of smoke about. All this down here isn't fog, it's smoke, and it seems to have moved. The fire, wherever it is, it's more out to our west now. Just smells like you're standing next to a bonfire. It's obviously burning away somewhere, but hopefully it doesn't come too far here. We're going to be heading up Ben Van, just up here later on. Just witnessed a grand sunrise. You can see the mountain behind me, where we'll be going up later on, just the same way I went up a few weeks ago, is now lit up. It wasn't too bad, was it, Thomas? The sunrise was fairly spectacular. There was a spectacular sunrise, but we still had plenty to do, and we soon headed off, heading back to our beach for some breakfast. Absolutely beautiful. But the mids are out. Well, we were just heading back to straight camp, but the good point and bad point. Good point is the loch is going still and the reflection is glorious. The bad is there's no wind and the midge have just found us, so in a little while I think we're going to be eaten alive. So I'm going to set up here and try and get this this beautiful loch in with the mountain behind the reflection and see what it comes out like if we don't get devoured first. Woo! After getting the picture of the mountain reflected in the Lochan, we headed back to the beach, and it was soon time to brew up some caffeine and get some porridge down us. We were going to need lots of energy for the climb that lay ahead. Well, coffee and porridge had, we soon set about getting the tents down. It seemed a shame to be leaving such a lovely location, but we were headed high in the mountain and still had that big climb ahead of us.
Well, it's a big climb. Big climb ahead of us.
So legs are in. So that's us left the Lochan, struck camp. You can see, I don't know if you can see it, way down there, that's where we were camped, and we're now heading up into the quarry. But look at this below us. There's a smoking version of all those wildfires I was talking about. It's just sitting down in the glen down there, so it's lovely. It's making it absolutely fantastic. But it's now about 7:30ish and we're going up here. You can see Thomas just heading on. And as you saw from my video a few weeks ago, I shall be heading up that steep grassy rake. So I'll probably not do anything more here until we get in the top, because you've seen it all before. The difference today though is A, it's about 10 degrees warmer, and B, the backpack's about 10 times heavier. So I think I'll be puffing and panting up here and not be thinking about taking videos. So, but what a place! Absolutely wonderful. Fantastic. In fact, you can just see the smoke. I don't know if you can make it out. One of the fires, the smoke's coming up to the right of that peak. So anyway, time to crack on. So as expected, the climb up the head wall of the quarry was steep, and it was warm. Oh, was it warm? But we just took our time, paced ourselves, and once we got onto the summit plateau, it was just glorious. The views out to sky, and we then spent the next 2 hours scouting out possible wild camping spots. We're about, I don't know, we must be about 1 o'clock, 12:30, 1 o'clock, and we've been up here for a while. We topped out at the head wall. We decided to head up that pretty early to avoid going up it in the afternoon sun. It seems to have worked okay. We made slow and steady progress, and we've actually gone along, and as opposed to going towards the summit, we've gone and investigated the rest of Bay and Van right down over, and we found found somewhere to camp for tonight. But at the moment, we're just at this lovely lock-in and had something to eat, filling up the water before heading to the campsite. And I've got the silly hat on, which means it's officially summer, and it is absolutely roasting. I can't believe how warm it is. It is shorts and t-shirts, taps off weather, in fact. So anyway, we're going to pack up here and then head to the campsite and get set up there and maybe have a wee afternoon snooze. So absolutely fantastic. So we enjoyed our lunch at the lock-in, and it was also the last spot to get some water, or fresh water anyway, before we headed over to our campsite, which was, it was still a good couple of kilometres walk to get to it, but it was lovely. So after hiking up from the loch where we had our lunch, we set about getting the tents up, and we thought, or if we thought the first camp spot was idyllic, this one was just superb as well. The mountain views, it was absolutely gorgeous. We were looking forward to spending some time up here and an afternoon snooze. This is my view at the moment. Blue skies. Actually brought the sleeping mat outside. It was far too warm inside the tent. We're at an altitude of about 750 metres there or thereabout, and I don't think I've ever seen it so dry. I've been walking about in my socks. At this height you usually get a bit of a breeze and it's a bit cooler, but it's absolutely stifling. It's not a bad spot to try and have a wee snooze. We didn't sleep much last night. The sunrise was about 4:30 and we were up at 3:30, so I only got 3 or 4 hours sleep. So hence for this afternoon nap, which you can probably see there. Anyway, I'll just pan round so you can see my vista. There's the tent. So it's about 5 o'clock now, so I'm getting a bit peckish. Might get some food, and I'm whispering because I think Thomas is still sleeping. So yeah, go get some food and see about sunset tonight. So Thomas soon joined me, and we set about getting something to eat for dinner, although it felt like breakfast after our afternoon snooze. The smoke was filling the quarry in front of us, and we were getting a bit worried. But we had something to eat, and then we got the tripods out and the cameras out, all set for our second stint of landscape photography. So we're just at camp at the moment. You can't see it, it's behind us. I'll cut to a wee bit of footage so you can see where we've pitched the tents, and it's absolutely glorious. It's been an absolutely stifling day. It's not often you say that in Scotland. There's wildfires stretching across the moor, and the heat was melting us today. We tried to sleep this afternoon in the tent, but ended up following Thomas's lead and taking my sleeping mat outside, and slept in the afternoon outside because just couldn't bear the heat. Anyway, so tomorrow morning, once we've the plan of action is once we've caught, which will hopefully be a superb sunrise, we're going to head off the mountain down the shoulder behind me, and it's not one of the routes which is any of the guidebooks, and this part of the hill's probably not visited very often. And I tell you what, I'm so glad we've come round here because the views are absolutely amazing. There's no tops. There's the Corbett's probably about 2 kilometres that way, but this is possibly the best part of the hill, and a lot of people won't come here. There's views in all directions. We've got Torridon over there, and you know, the route down will go back along the east face of the mountain, so we'll be getting the views of the fantastic cliffs. So yeah, really looking forward to tonight. We're all set with the cameras and what have you, and fingers crossed that the smoke stays out to sea and doesn't come in and block the view like it did earlier on. So let's see what we go. So the sun's just set, and it wasn't spectacular, but there was some nice colours in the sky out to the west. But essentially, as can often be the case, that low band of cloud prevented any of the skies going any other colour. But if you look round, actually it's quite clear, so there wasn't much to light up the sky behind the mountains. But anyway, I got some nice time lapse of the sun setting down and over the edge of the world. And there's something special I always think about these mountains on the west coast of Scotland. The fact that you can camp up high and you get the views out to sea, it just makes it a bit different and a little bit special. And watching the sunset from up here is just one of those things. After a day like we've had today, it just lives long in the memory, as they say. So, as you can probably tell, the temperature has dropped. I have my little beanie woolly hat on. I did not think I would be having my woolly hat on when I was melting in the sauna earlier on. But I suppose under these clear skies the temperatures will drop. So I think the tent doors will be shut tonight, and yeah, we'll be up probably about 3:30, 3:45 in time for the sunrise, which is about 4:30. So it'll be an early start, a few hours of sleep, and then back to it. A few bits of photography, and then back to the car and the long drive home. But now we're just going to finish off that whiskey that we brought from last night, so I'm really looking forward to that. That'll warm me up before bed.